They didn't come. Not my mother, not my brothers, not a single one of them. My mother's last words before the wedding still echo in my chest like broken glass. "I'm embarrassed for you." "A backyard wedding? That's for poor people." She said it with that cold, clipped tone only she could sharpen into a knife. So, on that day, I stood beneath the fairy lights strung across the oak tree, holding the hand of the only person who had never once made me feel small. Our vows were whispered, raw and trembling. The backyard was alive with laughter, music, and the smell of food grilled by friends who actually cared. It wasn't a cathedral. It wasn't a ballroom. It was ours. And 2 weeks later, the world agreed. A guest had filmed our vows, the intimacy, the light, the joy, and posted it. Somehow it spread millions of views. Headlines calling it the most genuine wedding of the year. Strangers we'd never met sent messages about how real love looked like this. That's when the calls started. My mother, my brothers suddenly curious, suddenly apologetic, suddenly ready to talk. But I already knew the truth. They weren't reaching out because of love. They were reaching out because they'd seen the video. Because my wedding, the one they mocked, had made me visible, and they wanted a piece of what they abandoned. They thought I'd forgotten the things they said. They thought I'd let them slip back in. They didn't know me at all. I used to crave their approval. I bent myself into shapes just to fit their expectations. I studied what they wanted me to study. I laughed at jokes I didn't find funny. I wore clothes they called respectable. And when I found the woman who made me feel alive, I begged my family to accept her. They smiled to my face, but I heard the whispers, "She doesn't belong. She'll never be one of us." When I announced the wedding would be in our backyard, simple, intimate, affordable, they didn't just decline the invitation. They shredded it. My mother's voice cut through the phone line. "I'm embarrassed for you, for all of us." That was the day I stopped begging. The night after the wedding went viral, I stayed awake replaying every slight, every dismissal, my mother's contempt, my brother's smug silence. I should have been raging. Instead, I was calm. A colder clarity had settled in me. I realized their power over me only existed because I wanted them close. If they wanted back in, I could decide the terms, and I was going to make them pay for every ounce of shame they poured into me. So he played the part. I answered their calls. I let them believe I was grateful to hear from them. I listened as my mother spoke about miscommunication and family being family. I bit my tongue when she slipped and said it looked good in the video, better than I expected. I let her think she was winning me back. What she didn't know, I recorded everything. Every call, every message, every half apology laced with arrogance, every slip that revealed she still thought she was above me. Then came the family dinner, the first time we sat together since the wedding. My wife beside me, my family, across the table, smiling too wide. They asked about the video, about the attention, about whether we'd been contacted by anyone important. My mother laughed and said, "Well, at least people think it's charming. You made us proud in a way." That was it. That was the moment. I pulled out my phone, connected it to the speaker, and pressed play. Her voice filled the room. Clear, sharp, venomous. "I'm embarrassed for you." "A backyard wedding? That's for poor people." Silence. Forks frozen midair. My mother's face drained of color. My brothers looked at her, then at me, unsure whether to defend or retreat. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't need to. I just looked at them calm and deliberate and said, "The world saw love. You saw shame, and now they'll see the difference." The video of that dinner went online the next morning. Side by side with the wedding clip, the contrast was undeniable. Millions who'd celebrated our vows now watched the family who refused to come caught in their own words. The same outlets that had called our wedding genuine now called my family snobs. Comments poured in. Strangers defended us. My mother's reputation, her precious image of perfection, crumbled in days. And the best part, I didn't have to shout. I didn't have to fight. I just let the truth speak for itself. They don't call anymore. They don't visit. Their silence is louder than any insult they ever threw at me. And I don't miss them. Because here's the truth. Love doesn't beg for approval. Love doesn't ask permission. It builds a life anyway. They tried to take my moment from me. Instead, they gave me a stage. They handed me the perfect contrast. Real love against shallow pride. And I let the world decide who deserved to be celebrated. Now, when I sit in that backyard, the same one they mocked, I don't hear my mother's voice anymore.